Hey there. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day, whatever time it is, whatever day it is, while you are here watching the Self Love Experience. This is Gwen Lepard. I have with me the very gorgeous and young and super bright and digital marketer expert in personal transformation and all sorts of other great things.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Kylie Slavic. And Kylie, so we've been hanging out with Tanya Target, and what have you learned? And
Oh my God, everything. I feel like my brain is on fire. My neurons just created new neurons, and I'm not sure where they're going to go.
That's fantastic, though, because it will sink in, and all of a
God.
sudden it's going to be coming out in your writing as well as. So we're learning how to write press releases.
Yeah, I'm so excited because I've been doing story for such a long time, and I first started doing story as an artist, and when I discovered how ads could go viral and stories could go viral online, I got so excited at how much more I could be doing. And now with this, it's like the next level. It's like, okay, the internet is kind of easy for me, and now there's this whole new frontier of like traditional media story, and I'm ecstatic.
You're ecstatic. Well, I'm like super excited because of what you just told me about working with transformational people. Because I have like an entire tribe that I just spent a couple days with that they're all into transformation, and all of us are struggling with digital marketing. So I need to provide introduction to my tribe.
I'm totally cool with that.
That would be so fun. And so besides just learning all of this amazing stuff and having our brains like popping out of our heads, how are you loving yourself today?
Yeah, so I woke up really early and I spent 30 minutes in meditation, and usually I do a couple hours, but I had to drive to Orange County from San Diego again for like the third or fourth day. So I was like, okay, but I'm still gonna do it, And then I started having a cold yesterday, but I really wanted to be present for the whole workshop, so I came here with a big vat of bone broth and was drinking it on the way here. I was like, I need to feel really taken care of on my drive, and I need to feel like my mom's here with me,
Oh, bone broth will do that.
It does. It has that vibe. It has mom vibe.
Mom all over it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Cool. So that's an awesome way to love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been really impressed with who you are, and now you're actually. I know you're my hood, so we're gonna connect.
We're neighbors.
We're neighbors. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a short drive. And
totally.
So we either meet in between, or one of us comes to the other.
Yeah, that's happening.
And then there's Zoom, but in person.
No, we can hang out. Yeah.
In person is like so amazing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've discovered is I work better when I have somebody to work with, so we could sit down and
we can
just get some work done.
We can take over the San Diego cafes.
I love it. Hey Penny, really great to see you.
Penny.
Yay. She's up here in Orange County. We're just here. This is we're gonna be heading back here pretty quick.
Pretty soon, a few minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes.
This is the tail end.
Yeah, the tail end of the conference, and it's any bittersweet going forward, or is it all just
Bittersweet in terms of the event being over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel that way when you get in a container with a couple of people for certain days, and then you wake up the next day and they're not there anymore. Wait, where'd you go?
I mean, this has been a real intimate group. I don't think it'll ever be this small again, because Tanya's just starting here in the States, and usually her events are sold out in Australia. And oh my gosh,
so
she could
great.
probably break this into like 3 or 4 events. The amount of content, but she tried to teach people to write press releases in a half day.
Yeah, we got 2.5 days.
We got 2.5 days. Yeah, and two press releases too.
Yeah,
I have one complete. The other one is on the back burner because it's not something that I'm specifically doing right now, but it's a great idea.
I love that. Yeah, super valuable.
Yes. Yeah, we have. What does she call herself?
Tabloid Tanya. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and she's so quick. The ideas, the way she puts them together.
God.
Yeah, that's her genius. So I really appreciate you sharing your genius and your time with me. And,
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it too.
Hit the road here shortly. And how am I living myself today? I actually brought really healthy food with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
From San Diego. Yeah, I do really good in the morning with sweet potatoes, avocados, and sweet pea sprouted sweet peas, and I ended up having it for breakfast and lunch, and it really nourished me. I took a little nap because I was my brain was going, and I laid down for maybe 10 minutes, and all of a sudden I'm ready to go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So naps are really cool. That's how I'm loving myself.
That's awesome. Good job.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. yesterday, Deborah and I went through the who, what, why, where, or when. Yeah, where, when, and how. Do you have anything that you want to go through on that? No. I mean, is there something coming up that you have that you'd like to share with people?
As far as all that stuff goes?
Yeah.
Just the fact that you can pull out a relatable story from just asking yourself a couple of really, really simple questions like you just did. If you run through that process of asking yourself, you know, who is this story about? Why is it relatable and all that kind of stuff? I think you can start sharing your story, which I obviously think is very important.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Whether you're an entrepreneur or not.
No, there's some credibility that you haven't shared with people about, you know, the beginning of your story. Would you share that for real quick?
Sure. So yeah, you're probably referring to the first ad that I wrote that went a little bit viral, and I had no direct response advertising training, but I just shared a story. I sat this woman down and asked her questions. What do you want to be remembered for? I wrote an ad and it went viral, and it did about $1.25 million in 12 weeks, and then we did an upsell, and it was a $2.5 million campaign. So that was my first marketing campaign, and I've been trying to replicate it ever since. But
oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you've over the last 5 years, you've made like through your writing $5 million.
Probably closer to 6 now, but it's very hard to track at this point. It's almost impossible.
Amazing.
Yeah, 5 trackable.
5 trackable.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Thank God for tracking links.
and this all started because you were like a slam poet.
I did performance poetry, and I learned how to emotionally move a room of people with story. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, this works in ads too. I wasn't really sure if it was going to work in an ad, but it did. And then I started working for an agency that spends about $1 million a month on ads, and was able to help like a dog food company that was struggling just tell their story. It turned out their dog had died of cancer, and that's why they went down this research rabbit hole of like trying to find healthier food, but they never shared that. Yeah. And now they're like no longer just a dog food brand. It's like this like dog lover on a mission, you know?
Yeah, beautiful. And speaking of story, do you want to share your story, your transformation story that got everything started?
Oh, from just being a really struggling drug addict? Yeah.
Well,
I found a lot of healing from addiction, sharing my story in open mics and in other types of situations and settings, and that's really where it all started. I started to realize how much impact sharing our story has on people and on our own healing and on our own life. And, you know, there's these things called story slams, and it's like you compete, and I think to myself, I don't really like that, because I feel like we should be using
always telling our stories.
We should be using story to create like unification in the world. It's so
connection instead of win lose. Competition. Yeah, so, collaboration, not competition.
I'm a really big fan of people just getting together and sharing story for healing too, because we did that in 2009. We started a spoken word venue, and we shared our stories, and we worked with the underprivileged youth, and they shared their stories. And when you can do that and people actually applaud you instead of looking at you like you're totally nuts, you know, a lot can transform.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story and all those other pieces that I found out about you this weekend.
Thank you.
It's really been wonderful. I'm glad that we live in the same city so we can connect.
Yes.
So, Penny, you can share how you're loving yourself if you'd like, or you can just, along with everybody that's watching later, go love yourself. Bye.